you're right. Mom has done, my mom, Linda, she's a professional clown for 10 years also, and she's done so much just for the kids, and anything that was asked, you know, she always did. So that's where we learned that we had to start giving back, you know, to the community. And I was always like, you know, volunteer, you know, what do you mean? Because I was, you know, I guess I didn't understand it, and it wasn't until really Hurricane Katrina when I realized, you know, what a major role that, you know, volunteer efforts make in the community. And I mean, there's been 100,000 volunteers here since the storm, and if they were here, then they've been at every other disaster also. I was just involved in that one, you know, and also with the oil spill, so I guess too. But they're not the volunteer groups. It seems like they're not just helping, you know, one certain house or one certain anything. It's like they're coming out to eat and spending money in the towns that you know that they're at, which, you know, the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I mean, it wouldn't be the same without it.
Do you run into a situation where volunteers, you know, will say thank y'all for being here and helping our community, and they say, oh no, thank you,
right? And
they're like thanking the community for letting them be here, and to me that's just, you know, that's humbling. But like they enjoy being here as much as we are glad they are here.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I mean, it's crazy because just whole bus loads and van loads of people that are out doing good deeds, and then in turn are also spending their hard-earned money, you know, in the different communities. And I mean, there's been a lot of people that have come back, you know, to bring their families and their kids, and I think that's how we've been successful in the national market. It's like every state in the union has had a volunteer down here at some time or another in the last, you know, 6 to 8 years. A little bit of both. During my quest for a job, you know, I realized, hey, you know, I really want to do something that's just more than a job. And we've always been part of the community, and because we were raised on the stage, so, you know, pretty much with the shed, we built the family another stage. And we feed people, and we take our time. The shed is, you know, it has a down-home feeling. It's true Southern barbecue, and you know, it's a humble place, and you know, I think volunteers aren't looking for the award ceremony or anything. You know, that's not why that's happening, and I think this is, you know, we give credit where credit's due, and we, you know, like I say, I've seen 100,000. I think 100,000, because Camp Victor, I mean, at one time they had, what, 300 people staying there?
Yeah.
It seems like.
We've had over, I think we're getting close to like 12 to 15,000 volunteers that we've had, that we've kept documentation of.
Right.
You know? So that's just for having that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's amazing.
It's a lot.
Amazing. The Food Network, that's been fun. We've been on there, I guess, 5 times now.
What were the 5 times?
There was a show called BBQ. We were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri. We were on the Memphis in May 2007. It's pretty much like a documentary. We were on Best in Smoke, which had just aired, and we were on the Best of the Best for Guy Fieri's, not his road show, but his best pick out of the nation. But we've done the Travel Channel a couple times. We just did Man vs. Food. That's going to air like this month. And actually, we fed him right here. We cooked the whole hog for him. There was probably some volunteers that actually saw that. But I think, we did the Regis and Kelly, and that was a vote. It was a public vote, and we got over 10,000 votes. And everybody else got like 1,000 votes. And they said we had votes from all over the nation. And you know, I bring that back to the volunteers. You know?
Yeah.
It's like just people watching that are at the house that watch Regis and Kelly. You know, I will admit I don't watch it every morning, but there's a certain tribe of people that do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that pushed us over the edge. And we, you know, even my mom said that. She's like, hey, that's where the social media comes in, because a lot of the volunteers have also been to our other locations, Mobile or Lafayette, Louisiana. So they've become, you know, fans of the Shed. And, you know, what is the Shed? It's a barbecue and blues joint where the kids can hang out, and grandma and grandpa and regular people in between those. All the time. I would say out of any given week, there's, you know, 100 people that'll say, hey, we saw you here. Where are you from? We're from Indiana. You know, what are you doing here? Oh, we're helping out. We're volunteering. And, you know, of course, pictures. And that's where a lot of these license plates have come from also. Because people have done more than one tour.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, hey, we're on our 7th round of coming down here. And they'll bring me little trinkets and, you know, just stuff. So it's not like, if you volunteer, it's not like you can do it one time. You know, you're going to do it again and again, it seems like. We have 6 locations. So it's Ocean Springs in Gulfport, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Destin, Florida, and Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay.
And we're looking for Baton Rouge next, and Tallahassee are the 2 that are out there. That
When did the last one open?
the last one was Destin, Florida, opened 2 days before the oil spill. Amazing timing. But that's the newest baby, so they're just under a year old, or just over a year old. If I didn't have the Shed, what would I do? I would do something, you know, in the community. There's no doubt, because that's what brings the world around. It's the community. I mean, everybody says that we're in this recession and this funk and, you know, all this, and the community is the only way that it's really going to get any better. And I think that's happening. In the last 3 years, people are, you know, saying, you're right. It's not just about my street or my house, you know. It's about this whole conglomeration of people that we call, you know, the United States. Yeah, I'd say the building. Yeah, I'd say the building. One piece. I mean, I don't even know that I could pick one. Because this, you know, everybody, I get to take the credit for the Shed, but this place was built, you know, by 100,000 people. We have about 50, and we're open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
We used to just be open on 5 days a week, but that didn't work. No way. I'll never be the office guy. But normally if I'm cooking, we're at a competition. Our pit masters start at like 2 a.m. So they're usually done by about noon every day. So there's no way I can pull off that shift and then also, you know, be here when the music's playing and things are happening. And I like to drink cold beer at work. So I try to get here after noon. Yes, I do actually have a regret of all the things that the Shed has brought. I wish that I would have built the original Shed about 20 feet tall. Because as you can see, with the contour of the roof line, I'm about out of room for expansions. And if I would have built it taller, then we could have been, you know, a little more expansions. But really, I don't regret much, because but my family has created with the Shed is somewhere where people can, you know, come almost find themselves, or might run into a friend that they haven't seen in 20 years. So, you know, we've made a bunch of mistakes in our days, and I think that's what's made us successful or on the platform that we're on now is, you know, we're problem solvers. And that's, you know, when something comes up, we solve the problem, we move on to the next one. And problems in life aren't always like the worst thing. You know, as long as you just conquer them, you learn, and you move on. You know, if you didn't have problems, then it's probably boring.
Yeah.
To all the volunteers, I would have to say, thanks for the help in the community, and thanks for getting fed at the shed.